Hello everyone, I am your friend Shadab Imam and currently we are dealing with the topic of simulation under operations research, and today we are going to see a problem on production planning. So please watch this video till the end, and if you are new to the channel, please subscribe the channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon. So let us move ahead. First of all, let us have a recap. What is the steps in Monte Carlo simulation? So first step is to find the objective of the problem. What is the objective, whether it is to maximize a value or to minimize a value. Then we need to determine the variable that interests the objective. So here we need to identify the variable that affects our objective of minimization or maximization. Next step is to find the probability. Now in Monte Carlo simulation, the probability is either directly mentioned in the problem or either we need to calculate the probability. And after that, we need to identify the cumulative probability. Then we need to select the random numbers using the random number table. So here in this simulation, the random numbers are usually given in the problem, and if they are not given in the problem, we will identify or select the random numbers using the random number tables. Then we need to find out the random number allocation. So here random number allocation is when we'll see that the selected random numbers fall within which random number interval. And what is random number interval? We are going to find that in a meanwhile, and we need to understand that after getting our random number allocation, we will be able to determine the corresponding variable of interest. That means we will be able to find out the variable or the value of variable we have selected. Then we need to simulate the model for the given number of events. Now let us move on to the problem here. So let us see what the problem says. Here the problem says that a company manufactures 30 items per day, and the sale of these items depend on demand, which has the following distribution. So the sale is this, which depends on the demand. So these are the potential demands and these are the corresponding probabilities for this sale. Now the production cost and the sale cost of each unit are rupees 40 and 50 respectively. Any unsold item is to be disposed of at a loss of rupees 15 per unit. There is a penalty of rupees 5 per unit if the demand is not met. Now using the following random numbers, estimate the profit or loss for the company for next 10 days. So here are the random numbers that is mentioned in the problem, and it also says that if the company decides to produce 29 items per day, what is the advantage or disadvantage to the company. So here in our problem it says that the company produces 30 items per day and it needs to find out the actual or realized profit. And here we have seen that the production cost and the sale price is given as rupees 40 and 50 respectively. So we can find out the difference here to find the revenue profit, that is the profit generated from sale. And it has mentioned that any unsold product has to be disposed of with a loss of rupees 15 per unit. Similarly, there is a penalty of rupees 5 per unit if the demand is not met. So we need to remember these points, and let us see what will be the solution of this. Now in this problem we can see that the actual profit per unit sale can be calculated by, so the actual profit can be calculated by the following things. First is the profit per unit, that means this is the revenue profit which has been generated by selling a unit or an item. So this is the difference of sale price per unit and cost price per unit. So this is 50 minus 40, and the profit, or we can say the revenue profit, is coming as rupees 10. Similarly, any unmet demand will have penalty of rupees 5. So if the demand is not met, then we have a penalty of rupees 5 per unit. and if there is any unsold unit, will bear a loss of rupees 15, and if there is any unsold unit, we will have a loss of rupees 15. Now to estimate the profit or loss for 10 days, we'll find out the random number allocation to simulate the problem. And these are the given random numbers which is already mentioned in the problem. Now in order to find out the random number allocation, we need to have this table, and this table shows that the sale, which is the potential sale based on demand, and these are the corresponding probabilities. So we have been given sale and the probabilities, and now we need to find out the cumulative probability here, and we can see that these are the cumulative probability, which is the addition of the probability that is given in the problem. Now the next thing is we need to find out the random number interval. Now we need to be very careful while calculating or finding out the random number interval, because when the cumulative probability is given as 0.10, then we need to consider it as 10, or we can say that we will move this decimal point 2 places ahead. Now the value has become 10, and what we will select is the values from 0 to 9, and we will left out the 10th value. So here we can see that the random number interval will be between 0 to 9, and we have left out the 10th value, which will be the starting value for the next row. So here we can see that the cumulative probability is 25. So again here we will left out the 25th value, and our random number interval will be from 10 to 24, and the 25th is the starting interval in the row 3, and the cumulative probability here is 45. So we will leave the 45th value, and the random number interval will be 25 to 44. Now similarly we will calculate the random number intervals for the remaining rows. So these are the value we have calculated random number interval. Now to find the random number allocation, we need to see the random numbers that is given in the problem. So these are the random numbers given in the problem. So we will go from first. The first random number is 10. So we will see that 10 lies in which of these random number interval. So 10 lies between 10 to 24. So we can see that this is the first event, or for first day the random number is 10. It lies between 10 to 24, and this suggests that it has the sale or the potential sale of 28 items. Similarly the next random number is 99. So we can see that the second event having random number 99 is between 95 to 99, and this suggests that the demand or the sale here will be 32. Similarly the third random number is 65. So we can see that 65 lies between 45 to 79. So here this is the third event which is having the random number 65, and this has the sale or the potential sale of 30. So from here we can calculate the sale or the potential sale for next 10 days. So we will calculate the random number allocation for the remaining random numbers. So this is our calculation. Now let us move ahead. Now let us simulate the sale for the next 10 days when the company is making 30 items per day. So here we need to identify that here company is making 30 items per day. So let us see. Now this is the table we are going to make here, and we need to understand that this is day, that means from day 1 to day 10. This is the random number which has already been mentioned in the problem, and this is the expected sale. Now this is the value we have calculated in our previous table. So for random number 10 we will have the expected sale of 28 items. For random number 99 we have expected sale of 32 items. For random number 65 we have expected sale of 30 items, and so on. Now from here we need to calculate several values First is the revenue profit. So revenue profit is nothing but the difference between the cost price and the selling price which we realized here. So this is, we have taken it as A, and this is the loss for unsold items. So we have already seen that if there is any unsold item, it has to be disposed of at a loss of rupees 15. So this value is termed as B, and there is a penalty for any unmet demand. So there is a penalty of rupees 5 for any unmet demand. So we have taken this as C. Now the actual profit or loss realized is the revenue profit we have generated here, minus of loss due to unsold item, minus of the penalty of unmet item. So the actual loss or profit will be A minus B minus C, where A is this, B is this, and C is this. Now let us move ahead. So first we'll calculate the revenue profit here. So the revenue profit, we have seen that it is rupees 10 per unit. So for 28 unit we can sell all the 28 because we are making 30 items per day. So here the value is 280. Similarly, for the next day or the second day, the expected sale is 32, but company manufactures only 30 items per day. So it can sell only 30 items per day, and the revenue generated or the profit revenue generated here will be 10 into 30. Similarly, we will calculate the profit revenue for each of the 10 days. So here we have calculated the profit value for each of the 10 days. Now let us calculate the loss for unsold item. So here we have known that the unsold item is when the company is making more products than the expected sale, then only the product is left unsold. So we need to see where the company is making more products than the expected sale. So here the expected sale is 28 and the company is making 30 items per day. So definitely two items will be remaining unsold here, and one item is causing a loss of rupees 15. So 15 into 2 will be rupees 30. So rupees 30 will be the loss here. Similarly, for the second day, we can say that expected sale is 32 and the company produces 30. So the expected sale is more. So there is no chance of having an unsold item. So this value will be 0. Similarly, we will calculate the loss for unsold item for the remaining 10 days. So this we have calculated here now. Now let us calculate the penalty for unmet demand. We know that for any unmet demand we will have a penalty of rupees 5, and unmet demand occurs whenever the expected sale is greater than the items produced by the company. So the company produces 30 items per day, and for day 1 the expected sale is 28. So here there is no unmet demand because all the expected sale has been fulfilled. So the value here will be 0. So 5 into 0. Now for the second day, the expected sale is 32, whereas the company manufactures 30 items per day. So we can say that there are still two unmet demands, and on the basis of this, the penalty here will be 5 into 2, which is rupees 10. Now similarly, we will calculate the penalty for unmet demand for the remaining days, and these are the value we have found out here. Now let us calculate the actual profit or loss realized. So it is simply given by A minus B minus C. So here for day 1, A value is 280 minus 30 minus 0. So 280 minus 30 minus 0 will be 250. Similarly, for day 2, the profit revenue A is 300, 300 minus 0 minus 10. So this is 300 minus 10, which is equal to 290. Similarly, here the value, profit value is 300 minus 0 minus 0. So the actual profit here or loss here will be 300. Now let us calculate these for the remaining days as well. So we have calculated this, and the total realized profit. This is the actual profit or realized profit. So the total realized profit for 10 days is coming as 2695. So here it is coming as 2695. And now let us move ahead. Now let us simulate the sale for the next 10 days when the company is making 29 items per day. So we need to remember here that form company is making 29 items per day. So let us move ahead. We will make a similar table here where this is day from 1 to 10. These are the random numbers which is mentioned in the problem. This is the expected sale which we have calculated from the previous tables. This is the profit revenue which is rupees 10. This is the loss for unsold item which is rupees 15 per unit. This is penalty for unmet demand which is rupees 5 per unit. So the expected sale here will be 28, which is less than 29. So all the sale can be met, and the revenue profit here is 10 into 28, which is 280. Similarly, for the second day, we can see that the expected sale is 32, but company makes 29 items only. So the revenue profit for the second day is 10 into 29. Here we need to understand that in previous table, the company was manufacturing 30 items per day. So the value here will be 10 into 30. But here we are assuming that company is making 29 items per day. So the profit revenue here is 10 into 29, which is 290 rupees. Now similarly, we will calculate the remaining values for all the remaining days. So this we have calculated here. Now let us see the loss from unsold items. So unsold items, we can see that whenever the company makes products greater than the expected sale or demand, then we will have an unsold item. So here we can see that for day 1 the expected sale is 28, where the company makes 29 items per day. So here we will have one unsold item, and the loss here will be 15 into 1, which is rupees 15. Similarly, for the second day we can see that expected sale is 32 and the company makes 29 items per day. So here we can see that all the 29 items are consumed because expected sale is more. So here we do not have any unsold item here, and we will calculate the other values also in a similar manner. So these are the values we have calculated here. Similarly, we will calculate the penalty for unmet demand also, which is rupees 5 per unit. And here for day 1 the expected sale is 28 and the company makes 29 items per day. So all the demand, that means all the expected sale demand, which is 28, has been met. So there is no unmet demand and the value here will be 0. Similarly, for day 2 we can see that the expected sale is 32 and the company makes 29 items per day. So here the company is able to provide 29 items where the expected sale is 32. So the unmet demand is 3 here and the value is 5 into 3, which is rupees 15. So there is a penalty of 15 here. In a similar manner, we will calculate the other values also. So these are the values we have calculated here. Now let us calculate the actual or realized profit or loss, which is A minus B minus C. So for day 1 we can see that that is 280 minus 15 minus 0. So this will come as 265. Similarly for day 2 it is 290 minus 0 minus 15, it is coming as 275. And the third day it is 290 minus 0 minus 5, it is coming as 285. And we will calculate it for the remaining days as well, and this is coming as this. And it is interesting to see that the total profit is coming as 2695, which is exactly same as when the company was producing 29 items per day. So let us see what we can conclude from here. So we will say that the company will realize an actual total profit of rupees 2695 for the next 10 days. Now, in both the situations, the company will make the same actual profit, so it is highly advantageous to the company to produce 29 items per day instead of making 30 items per day. So here it is definitely advantageous for the company to make 29 items per day rather than making 30 items per day. So I hope you like this lecture. If you like it, please subscribe the channel and share these videos. Have a nice day. Thank you.